Hi, I'm Linda, Teen Librarian at the Traverse Area District Library, and this month's craft we are going to make luminaries for fall. So if you haven't yet got your craft bag, stop in at the Traverse Area District Library on Woodmere and pick up your craft bag, or you will see a list of the supplies in the details of this video, and you can go out and get your own and make your own. So in your bag you will have a glass bulb, a electronic candle, tissue paper of multiple kinds, multiple colors, Podge Glue, a brush, and some fabric leaves. That's everything you need to make this. The first thing you want to do is decide what color or colors you want to do your design in. Let's see, this one I did greens, yellows, and blues, so maybe my new one I'm thinking some red, maybe white, and blue and white I think would be nice. Kind of wintry colors. I like them. So before you do anything to this, you want to tear up whatever tissue paper you're going to be using. Tear it into random size sheets. Make a nice little pile like this on your table. This is time to get messy. White's torn up, and now I'm going to tear up my blue. And you may end up tearing it more as you put it onto your bowl. But just go ahead and have some fun ripping it up because, you know, it's 2020. Let's tear some things up. So, got all those torn up. Then I'm going to take my Podge Glue and my foam brush and just cover it in Mod Podge. Now you can cover the whole thing or you can do a section at a time. I'm going to do a section at a time because I really don't feel like getting my hands covered in Mod Podge while I hold it up for you to look at. But since you are not holding it up, it'll be just as easy for you to do the whole thing. And you take your tissue paper and put it on just like this. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to cover the entire bowl with tissue paper. Once you have the whole thing covered, then you're going to look around and see if you have any more spots that you think you might want to put more on. You can entirely cover the whole thing, or you can leave some open spots like I did. You're just creating a kind of a stained glass effect. And you're going to take your glue once again and you're going to go over the whole thing so that any of these pieces that are kind of sticking up are then going to flatten down. So just coat the whole thing in a nice layer of Mod Podge. What that's gonna do is give you kind of this effect where you can see through it, but it kind of looks hazy, almost like it's an underwater view. It gives you that stained glass effect. As you can see, now it's milky white. So the glue is really wet. You can't really see through it right now, but when it dries, you'll be able to see right through it. It'll just give it that rippled effect. My next step is to decide what leaves I want to do and how many. I could completely coat this thing in leaves. I could have left off the tissue paper and just done leaves, or I could leave off the leaves, but you know, it's fall. Let's celebrate fall. So I'm going to put a few leaves on here. You see it kind of sticks just a little bit when you're first putting them on, but this isn't going to be good enough to hold it. So after I figure out where and how many leaves I want, then I'm going to glue them on a little bit snugger. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm just going to do 4 leaves on this one. So you take a leaf and you want to be really generous with the glue on the leaf. So I'm just like lopping on the back of the leaf, quite a bit of glue. It's fabric, it's stiffer, so it's not going to glue as easy as the paper. That's why you need to use a lot more. Just kind of get it on there, hold it for a second. It's okay if it sticks out in spots, because that's kind of the effect we're going for with this. Like the leaves have fallen onto it. Then on to the next one. You do this with all of the leaves that you choose to use. Once you have all your leaves on, then you're going to set it aside and let it dry. When it's all dry, we're going to go back and coat it one more time with the Mod Podge to keep those leaves from falling off, or to keep the leaves from falling off. The glue is now dry enough. It's not completely dry, but it's dry enough that I can go ahead and put the final coat on. You want it to be dry enough so that when you put the final coat on, it doesn't move the leaves around. So let's just coat this thing. So with the final coat, you're going on top of the leaves as well as on top of everything else. You just want to make it nice and solid so that nothing comes off on you. This will make the leaves less crinklier, they won't move around as much, and less apt to be torn off accidentally when you pick it up and move it. So when I was putting on the final coat, I bounced my brush up and down like this to give it give the glue more of a rippled effect. Now, a couple things you might want to keep in mind. One is I should have put paper down on my desk because I have some cleaning to do now. So make sure you put something down to protect your work surface so you don't have to scrape the glue off. Another thing is, if any of your tissue paper or leaves, well, particularly the tissue paper, comes up over the edge, you're going to want to go back and trim that off after everything is dry so that there's no chance of any fires if you were to use a actual flame candle rather than the electronic candle that we provide. And now all that's left to do is let this sit and dry, and then I will have another one that looks just like this. Enjoy your fall luminary.